What's up, leaders? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Lead From Your Podcast. I'm Jason. Today, I wanted to take a minute and talk about transparency. Transparency is one of those topics that everybody at every level of the business wants to talk about, from a executive to a middle manager to an individual contributor. Everybody wants transparency, and everybody thinks transparency is kind of golden, is this thing that needs to happen. I agree. I totally agree with that. I think transparency is a very healthy part of a healthy team, and it makes teams more effective, in my opinion, in the long run. There is a catch to this, and it really goes to the leaders. Leaders have to be able to walk the line between transparency and what, like, telling them everything looks like. Because at the end of the day, transparency isn't telling them everything all the time. It's telling them what they need to know right now to be able to make the right decisions, feel focused, and feel safe. Oversharing almost always serves the leader more than it does the team. You may feel unburdened, but they end up feeling anxious. There's a difference between being honest and dumping your uncertainty on the people that can do nothing about it. Premature transparency ultimately creates panic. Telling everybody everything before you have context or a path forward isn't honesty. That's chaos, and you're creating chaos within your team. The team doesn't always need to see how the sausage is made on every single thing that's happening in the ether of leadership, because at the end of the day, you are privy, especially the higher up you get in a company, you are privy to information that a lot of teams and a lot of people just aren't. And to be honest, a lot of that stuff doesn't actually ever come to fruition. There's a lot of things, a lot of decisions that get made that don't necessarily end up impacting anything at all outside of, kind of weighing on you. Don't get me wrong. It's a burden. It's a burden as a leader to understand all of the things happening, all things that could come down the pipeline to your team, and having to figure out what the right thing is. You're going to overstep sometimes. You're going to hold too much sometimes. But as long as you're walking the line of trying to find that balance of keeping them in the know, keep giving them the things that make them feel safe, I think you're going to be in a much better position. The question ultimately isn't, should I share this? It's, who would sharing this actually help? Remember that withholding information isn't always lying. There's definitely opportunities where it is. There's definitely, if you are trying to subvert somebody by withholding information, absolutely, you are lying. You are doing something deceitful. You are trying to engineer an outcome by withholding information. But sometimes, if you are just trying to protect your team, if you're not sure where this is going, you don't have context, you don't have a path forward, it's just kind of hearsay at this point, or there's not a decision made yet, you are actually protecting your team's focus. You're doing what you need to do as a leader. You're making sure that they stay on task, they do the things that they need to do, and ultimately you make them feel safe. If you tell them all of this chaos, they're gonna feel unsafe. They're gonna feel uncertain at the very worst. Those are two things that are not a recipe for success for a team. Ultimately, the most important thing to take away from this video, in my opinion, is that the best leaders are selectively transparent. They're open about the things that build trust and make people feel safe. They're quiet about the things that are just noise and chaos, that have no context or path forward. Because ultimately, if your transparency makes people feel more worried, more uncertain, or unsafe, you're not building trust by your honesty. You're actually eroding it. Honesty is a value. Transparency is a tactic. Please know the difference. That's it. It's a quick one today. I hope this was helpful. Be transparent as much as you can, but make sure you're still protecting your team in that transparency. If you're just being transparent and you're dumping everything on the team, you're not being an effective leader. You're not being the leader they need. You're not protecting them. You're actually making them feel more burdened, more worried, and more uncertain, and ultimately unsafe. If you like what you're hearing, or you disagree, or you have other ideas of things you wanted me to talk about, please hit me up, jason@leadfromhere.co. Any of my social media pages, the website, wherever. I'm always interested to hear other people's perspectives and understand what they agree and disagree with, because I certainly don't know it all, and I am open to growth and challenge. So as always, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and yeah, just generally, we'll see you soon. Take care.